Hi Bright Stars, I hope you had an excellent weekend. We are back learning about habitats. I'm so excited because today we get to talk about animals of the East African Savannah. Okay, here we go. Rattenborough, your intrepid adventurer here to show you something a little bit different. We've been talking about habitats, the place where plants and animals live. We spent time in 3 of the most extreme habitats in the world: the freezing Arctic tundra, the scorching desert. Now I've come to a habitat that should be one of great interest to you. Some of the most famous animals in the world live here. Welcome to the East African Savannah. Savannah is another name for grassland, a wide, open, vast stretch of grass-covered land. You know you're in the grassland when there's lots of grass around you, but not many trees or bushes. The East African Savannah has very warm weather all year round. However, it only has 2 seasons, the rainy summer and the dry winter. The plants and animals that live here have to adapt to these 2 very kinds of weather in the summer and winter. Luckily, I brought my umbrella in case it pours. I can barely see a thing in all these grasses. There's so much of it. As the name grassland should suggest, grass is the most important plant growing in the savanna. The grasses are very hardy, which means they can survive tough conditions in this habitat, long spells of dry, hot weather, as well as heavy rainfall and flooding. The grass has adapted to these conditions by growing very deep roots. Even if the grass above the ground is destroyed, the roots underground can survive and the grass can grow back. This grass grows very quickly, as much as 1 inch per day. The grass in your backyard might take a whole week to grow 1 inch. Yikes, I'm surrounded by hooves! That's because the grass is food for many of the larger animals like elephants, zebras, gazelles, and antelope. They chew on grass all day long. I don't think grass is all that tasty, but these animals depend on the nutrients in the grass to survive. It's all they need to eat. It would seem that because so many animals eat the grass in the savanna every day, there wouldn't be much grass left after a while. But remember, the grass grows back so quickly. There's usually plenty of for all the different herbivores like zebras and antelopes to eat. Grass is not the only source of food in the savanna. Many animals get their meals from the acacia tree. Giraffes with their long necks and tongues are able to eat twigs and leaves from the top of the tree. Not only are giraffes' tongues long, they're also very tough. It's a good thing, too, because the twigs of the tree are covered with sharp thorns that the giraffes eat along with the twigs and the leaves. Elephants eat grass, and they like the trees, too. They rest in the tree's shade and eat the leaves, branches, and seeds. They even like to strip off the back and chew on it. I think this acacia tree must be great to climb and getting better at the savanna, but don't forget its coverly and prickly thorns. Ouch! Acacias have adapted well to this habitat. They have small leaves and don't dry out as quickly as larger leaves would in the dry, hot months. The roots of the acacia grow very deep into the ground, which allows them to collect water from far underground when there's not much rainfall. And their short thorns help keep some animals from eating too many of the branches. These trees are right at home in the habitat. Animals living in the savanna have adapted to their habitat in many ways. Some animals, like the giraffe, have long, powerful legs so they can run quickly away from predators, animals that hunt and kill other animals. Their long legs also help them travel long distances searching for foods. Can you imagine a rat like me keeping up with a giraffe or zebra? Not a chance. Now, there's a little bird that's been sitting on the giraffe this whole time. This is an oxpecker. Oxpeckers perch on the backs of large animals. It will use its sharp claws to hold onto the giraffe, who will hardly even know it's there. The giraffe and the oxpecker coexist. When 2 animals coexist, it means they live together peacefully. The oxpecker feeds on the fleas and ticks living on the giraffe's body and warns the giraffe of any predators that might be trying to sneak up on it. In turn, the giraffe will let the oxpecker live on its back and provide the oxpecker food. Remember the fleas and the ticks. Shelter and protection from predators. The oxpecker will spend most of its life on the giraffe's back. What a partnership! So here I am back in the tall grasses, and I bet you recognize this black and white stripes of the zebra I just ran into. Zebras are specially adapted to live in the savanna. They have long legs and stripes. They don't just make them look pretty. They camouflage the zebra against the grass so the predators can't see. Zebras eat grass in the savanna, so they're herbivores. Over there I can see the largest land animal in the world. Can you guess what it is? This African elephant is very big and eats up to 400 pounds of trees and grasses every day. That's about the same weight as of 9 first graders. African elephants are adapted to the hot weather in the savanna. They have huge ears that flap like fans to stay cool and keeps the bugs away. They also have thick skin that protects them from branches and thorns. Do you see the trunk of the elephant? This trunk, of course, is the elephant's nose for breathing and smelling, but it's also used like a hand to lift things, gathering food, and even holding on to other elephants' tails. Baby elephants use the trunks to grasp other elephants' tails to keep them from wandering away from the rest of the herd and getting lost. Elephants also use their trunks to drink water. They suck up the water with their trunks and then put the water from the trunk into their mouths. They also use their trunks like a hose for showering and to playtime. These animals are lions. Lions live in groups called prides. The females, or the lioness, do most of the hunting. They're carnivores that hunt zebras, elephants, and all kinds of other savanna animals. Most groups of lions just have 1 or 2 male lions. The male lion is huge and incredibly strong. It has a furry mane, powerful jaw, and fearsome claws. Unless the lion meets a stronger lion, no other animal in the savanna habitat can match the lion's strength and power. Animals that are hunted by predators are called prey. One of the lion's favorite prey to hunt and eat are zebras. Zebras try to use the camouflage of their stripes to hide in the grasses of the savanna so that lions won't see them. At the top of this tree, I can see your birds that are waiting on the lions to finish eating so they can have dinner. These birds are called vultures. A vulture is a scavenger, which, as you've learned, is an animal that eats the leftovers. All of our animals and plants we learned about so far are part of something called the food chain, which is illustrated in this image. At the bottom, you see the savanna grass. The arrow points to the zebra because the zebra eats the grass. Then it points to the lion because the lion eats the zebra. The next picture is a picture of the soil because eventually the lion dies and its body becomes a part of the soil. The more grass grows out of the soil and starts the chain all over again. Next, I think we should head to a habitat that's a bit closer to home and explore some plants and animals that might look quite familiar to us. But for now, I'm going to go check out some more wildlife. I'll see you later. Awesome. All right, we have a couple questions before we look at our word of the day, okay? Here's my question. Let's look at this page first. Which animal is this? How have they adapted to living on the savanna? How have they adapted to living on the savanna? I have one more question. How are giraffes, or how does the oxpecker and the giraffe coexist? How does the oxpecker and the giraffe coexist? All right, remember you can write those down or you can talk to somebody in your house about them, okay? All right, here is our word of the day. Our word of the day is prickly. Can you say prickly? Yeah, a lot of you already use this word. When something is prickly, it means that it has lots of sharp points on it. So if my skin was prickly and you touch it, you say, ow! Pine trees can be prickly, so you have to handle them very carefully. The desert cactus you learned about might be prickly. Can you think of anything else that might be prickly? All right, I'm going to name some things and you're going to show me a thumbs up if you think it's prickly, a thumbs down if it's not. A pillow? No. A rose bush? Yeah, roses have thorns. They can be prickly. A blanket? No. A hairbrush? Yeah, that could be prickly. A chalkboard? No. What about a porcupine? Yeah, it's probably prickly. Awesome jobs today, Bright Stars. I will be back on Tuesday with another video.